Hey everyone, George here, also known as Disney Family Man 23. Hello, what's going on? Salutations. Today I thought I'd give you my take on my review of the Imagineering Story, the wonderful put together documentary that is now streaming on Disney Plus. I'm a little bit late with this review because I have watched the Imagineering Story several times. It came out with Disney Plus on the premiere of November 12th of 2019. But it was broken down into several episodes. 6 episodes altogether make the one big documentary. And I thought that was brilliant to actually break it off into 6 separate parts rather than just have a 2 hour, 1 2 hour documentary. To have 6 parts, it's basically giving you a 6 hour documentary. So the more the better, I say. I'm going to go into some detail, but I'm not going to go through like every step of the documentary. It's more so just a synopsis of the whole entire thing of what the Imagineering Story is about. It was produced, written, and directed by Leslie Iwerks, the sister of Don Iwerks, and they are both the children of the Disney legend himself, Ub Iwerks, who worked very closely with Walt, was a good friend of Walt, and actually helped Walt with the creation of Mickey Mouse, and not to mention with the multiplane camera, and Ub was a big, major impact on the Walt Disney Company for many different reasons. And his children are no exception to that. I mean, they inherited their father's gift of creativity. And this documentary really shows. Starting like with the part 1 of the series, it starts off in Walt's time era, of how it came to be where he had the idea to go off the pages of a book, go out of the film lens, and create something for the guests in an environmental purpose known as what is today Disneyland. And that, he was, struggling financially to get, the funds, to build Disneyland. And with Walt's brother Roy and his brother and business partner helped him succeed in that. And, making the television series Disneyland, to help, get the funds and everything. And it literally takes you step for step to, how it came to be, like where Disneyland started from like point A to point B to point C to opening. And that's basically like the part 1. The part 2 kind of dives into the fact, with, Walt being ill, and then him, having this major Project X, which was the Florida Project, or also known now today as Walt Disney World. And then, him, trying to get that off while still, trying to run the daily operations of Disneyland, his health declining, and then soon, him passing. And, with the Imagineers, they had to continue Walt's dream, Walt's legacy, and where do they go from there, and they really didn't know, like, really what they were doing. Even with Walt knew they had the potential to make these parks, and he saw something in them that they didn't even see. So after, their fearless leader, is no longer there, that, what do? They have to continue. So it's basically the genesis of, Walt gathering these group of people that have like the artistic side and the technological side, and it was started as WED Enterprises, which was his initials, Walter Elias Disney, and then eventually it became Walt Disney Imagineering. And those, they're the masterful magicians behind all the Disney theme parks around the globe. And I love how this documentary touches upon not just the domestic parks, but also the international parks. Disneyland Paris, which was, prior to that, it used to be known as Euro Disney. And, there was a lot of, hardships and hard times, it wasn't just all, sugar coated pixie dust. It was a struggle, and even to this day, they have their challenges and obstacles every day. But that's what makes Walt Disney Imagineering so unique, is they don't give up, and the sky is the limit, but yet the sky isn't the limit. It's like it goes beyond the sky, and they have the blue sky process, which that's where they come up with all their ideas and everything. And there was almost a hostile takeover, before Michael Eisner and Frank Wells came into the company, and they really got like everything rolling as far as like with the parks division goes, and not even just that, even with the film and animation. They got the entire Walt Disney Company at that time and point up back on its feet. And there were a lot of issues, like with Euro Disney, which eventually became Disneyland Paris. It's doing much better now than what it was before. And then it touches upon, how it came to be, like where they made Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, Hong Kong Disneyland, and then the new Shanghai Disney. And then, of course, like all the other domestic parks along, like how Walt Disney World expanded with Epcot and Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom, and then how Disneyland even expanded with Disney California Adventure, which, of course, it started as Disney's California Adventure and then transitioned to Disney California Adventure because of what you see and know DCA as now was not when it first opened. There wasn't a whole lot of Disney intellectual property. It didn't have like that home feeling when you go into Disneyland Park, and that's where they touched upon that, and they, with a blue sky process, the Imagineers plussed it. And that was big with Walt Disney himself. He titled everything as being plus. How can we make it better? How can we do this? And he was a huge advocate on not keeping everything the way it is. He did not want a museum. He stated that time and time again. He wanted his Imagineers to grow. And for them to grow, it allowed his parks to expand and grow and change and expand and upgrade, or however you want to call it. And that's what he wants, that's what he wanted, and that's what is happening, even to this very day. There's, Epcot is going through a change right now. I know it wasn't supposed to be what it originally intended, due to, the current world situation right now. But the Imagineers are handling those obstacles and trying to figure out a way of, okay, how can we still plus it? How can we still do this? And, just with problem solving and patience, they can really accomplish anything that they set their minds to. So that's basically, yeah, the part one was, Walt's era. Going into part two is when, with his passing, and the Imagineers were on their own. And then 3, 4, 5 is basically everything that I just mentioned, like the inner workings, like with all the other parks and, the domestic and the international. And then the final part, part 6, is more so of the To Infinity and Beyond, which that's what it's actually titled. And again, as I said before, the sky is unlimited, to what those Imagineers can put their minds to. And I can't wait to see. It almost gives me a ray of hope of, like, for the future of, what this company can do with its parks, because, it touches upon, with Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars lands that were just released, of how they're doing, with Rise of the Resistance and Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and then the newer attractions coming out, like with Remy's Ratatouille Adventure for Epcot. It's been out in Disneyland Paris, but it's the first one in the domestic parks. The Tron Light Cycle Coaster, the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and the Avengers Campus. So, that's just right now what they're working on. But even beyond that, they're still working on stuff that we may not know about or see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years into the future, So it's like, they may know about it now, but we won't know about it until the future, So it's like, I'm so excited what they have done, what they have accomplished, what they're working on now. and trusting in them to say, hey, they're going to guide us through into the new century, into the new decades, with all this new technology and everything. And I can't wait to see what Disney has in store for us as far as its theme parks go, because I still trust in them. I still have faith in them. It just takes, again, a little faith, trust, and pixie dust, folks. So but if you haven't seen the Imagineering Story, I highly recommend seeing it. If you don't have Disney Plus, I highly recommend subscribing to it. It's well worth the money. It really is. So I definitely would say, yes, get Disney Plus and watch the Imagineering Story. I give it a 2 thumbs up, A+++. So after that note, I thank you for joining me today. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and remember, stay healthy, stay safe, stay Disney. Bye, everybody.